Welcome back, everyone. We're here with episode 26. Still a little bit shocked we're at 26 of Sanctum of Stability. Most number of sessions I've had for a campaign so far. This is great. Wonderful, wonderful.
Look forward to doubling it.
Doubling it. I thought we were already talking about also adding a second show possibly to the channel.
Yeah.
Magic school. That'll be fun. Everyone wants to be reminded of being in school.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the best idea. I recant. I don't think we should do it.
No, this is fine. This is good. This is fun. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the things.
Who are you people, and how did I get here?
I don't know.
So it turns out that entire series was just our characters dreaming that they were still in school.
Oh God, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
But yes, so you guys had just. This is not the right song. Kanku. Kanku. Bad. That's right. Back to the Smoky Lounge. That was for something
Kenku,
later.
like, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want.
You have to yell at your music bot. Okay. Yes. So there is Azonoth, Victor, Stella, and the strange symbiote. You're also forgetting Michael Pollen, which is your druid friend you guys made, which was sent to help out.
Mm-hmm.
At least with dealing with the Feywild stuff and trying to deal with all this stuff. Yeah. You guys were looking for... I think you guys were going to go on a hunting trip to track down redcaps and that for food for the Fomorians.
Yep.
How do you guys anticipate doing such?
Redcaps, scenting him down by looking for the smell of blood.
Okay. So you're just gonna try to sniff them out?
There's not much else we really can do. I've never hunted one, nor have I ever been in the Feywild.
What would Victor know about them?
They're tricky little things. If they can find a blood source, they will use it to wet their cap. Because that'll keep them alive longer. Otherwise it dries up, becomes leathery, and they slowly die. There's other mushroom creatures all around as well. Other problems that there may be is... You've vaguely heard of quicklings. They're troublesome creatures. Hard to catch. Basically, they move at higher speeds than most normal creatures.
I hate those things.
There's probably some fairies and pixies and that in here, you know. Your usual crowd that would be arrested for some reason or another.
The typical miscreants.
Yeah. You didn't get to ask the guard, but you could only assume that there may be some humans in here too because of dealings with the court and trying to go back on them or whatnot.
Right.
So no, humanoids don't like sitting here and knowing that they're owned by a fae. They tend to try to get their freedom. Oh, and there may or may not be wild doppelgangers in here, depending. So, There's always like baiting a trap. There's just trying to scent them out and see if you can find them, or could try to find some locals to get some answers.
Yeah. So Victor looks over at Azeroth and Stella. So are we just finding them and charging in, or are we trying to figure out where they hang out?
I would hope to find one on its own, but we probably won't be so lucky. We'll have to find some and then get some that are alone or otherwise, and close enough to being alone for us to take a group of them, whatever we need to.
Yeah.
This is when the party realizes that they're much like hunters trying to sit here and hunt something down.
Mm-hmm. It's like some of our skills wouldn't be able to be used for bounty hunting or something like that.
No. It's not like...
Definitely can't do anything with the GPS ability that I have, though, which is kind of sad for me. It would be fun to upgrade it to creature subtype, by the way. Like, if I can find a dead one of the things, then I can track down other things that are like it.
Well, yours
if I can find another dead mushroom, I can, track down other mushrooms.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 2 of you technically have an ability that allows you to buff trying to track down things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just don't have any way of getting that GPS thing to actually function for locating one of them.
Yeah, no, 2 people actually have Hunter's Gaze, which allows them to boost
Yep.
it from Wisdom modifier to Wisdom.
Yep.
So,
So I'm gonna kind of start looking around and trying to figure out pathways and where they kind of hang out.
Me too.
Yeah. Now, usually this would be a wisdom thing, but since you're also a studied individual, I will allow you to use your intellect if you wish instead. Victor?
Okay.
And you would be able to treat it similarly to where you could use your full intellect. But I think your intellect and your wisdom are the same, aren't they?
Yeah, they're both 5.
Yeah, I just need to... Well, it would be 10 because it would be not modifier, but the full stat.
Okay.
But I will need to know which one you use.
Alright. I am gonna look at intelligence.
Okay.
So, rolled an 11 on the dice. Be a 21 intelligence.
Okay. And Stella, you're making a roll too?
Yeah.
What are we rolling for? I unfortunately zoned out at the wrong time to understand what we're rolling for.
They're
Tracker.
rolling to try to track down some.
Is there any possibility of using my knowledge for this?
Yes.
Because that is literally me rules lawyering in that end, so...
Yes, you can, but we'll take you a third, okay?
Okay. Oh my fucking god, what a roll.
Yours is only off of your intellect as well, so...
I didn't even roll with advantage on this one. I almost got double 10s.
So,
13.
together?
Yeah, I didn't get a good roll on that one.
Oof. so you got a 7 on the roll. Gotcha.
6. I get like 10 on the dice.
Okay, so you actually got 16.
Yeah.
And then Azeroth is rolling based off of Hunter's Knowledge, which was a... Trying to find it in your thing.
It basically just gives me advantage to a general roll of knowledge check that I might be able to pull from. And it's very biased because I don't really have a lot of knowledge of Feywild creatures.
If you bane him now, it's just countering the advantage. Just making him roll normal. But, so... Okay, apparently we're waiting to see if Mighty Mouse wants to bane you and get rid of your advantage here, but from what you said had a pretty good roll to begin.
Let her make that decision on her own.
He can have his advantage. The chat has spoken. You are allowed to keep your advantage. Roll with your advantage.
19 without any additions.
And that is a...
And I forgot what my additions are, which means I probably should pull up my character sheet.
It's going to be based off your intellect.
Which I
because you're using knowledge.
About as much as the back of a spoon. +3, so
yeah.
22. So out of all of my mental stats, that one's the lowest, aside from wisdom, which is also low.
So do you want planner, nature? Yeah, planner or nature.
This one would more be planner because it's from a different plane. We don't really have red caps in the material plane, do we?
Nope, but they are natural to this plane, so it's...
Yeah, I guess nature technically would work as long as I'm just pulling, information from nature, this plane. I'm gonna go with nature because in this case I want to try to know more about where they would be and be able to locate them, less so than I'm trying to get information on like what they do. We already know that they bathe themselves in blood, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to recall, how do we locate them?
And for you other two that specifically rolled those, I require to know if it's a survival you used, or a... what was the other one that's covered by the ability? Yeah, survival or perception.
Let's see. If I do survival, that would be... Let me see which one's higher.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll perception.
So it says perception? Okay. Which you have...
Yeah, they're both same. So I'm going to do survival. And that's a +1, so...
Yeah, that's a Nova, so that's an
that'd be
additional
17.
+1, yeah. Very nice, very nice. So that did shift the number a little bit for you. That's good, good,
Yep.
good. While our other friend has neither perception or survival. Makes sense not to have survival, being your bookworm, but perception.
It's weird.
Okay, so... Oh, yes, I forgot to put those in here. or perception or survival. This will give me different information to give all of you. This way you all can decide as a group. For our intellect perception, looking around the entire area, you notice that most of the dead animals around here are going to be usually eaten by the Fomorians, so there's not going to be a lot of blood in that unless it's in the camp where they're butchering them.
That's probably intentional as well.
Yeah. Beyond that, there is a grove of what looks like large mushrooms, including glowing mushrooms, on the ceiling. Off to the distance, it does look like there's footpaths walking that way of larger feet, so it looks like this may be the way that they go for hunting.
Mm-hmm. Can follow that.
So that's perception and survival. You guys have... You guys can see that it's a walked path. There are apparently hunting areas that they do hunt these things over there. For the knowledge nature, knowing how red caps are and how a lot of fae are, you start to piece together a few things. First off, being that these are mushroom creatures, they're probably going to hide amongst mushrooms. But second off, as a fae, they probably have an uncontrollable sweet tooth. Just something about sweets tend to attract fae and tend to be appealing to fae. That and finer tastes of like fine wines and whatnot. But the more animal-like they are, it seems the more their tastes are towards the sweeter or that kind of stuff. So basically, it's just as easy to catch fae with candy as it is anything else.
So they're children, understood.
Yeah, basically, you throw down a bunch of Smarties and they might just... But that's after they, count every one of them and pick them up. But yeah. So, you guys can tell that there is a lovely spot off into the distance where the hunting seems to go. And the mushrooms seem interesting enough. There are some stalks off of some of the mushrooms in the roof and that seem less like the normal stalks. Like they're a different type of mushroom trying to grow off of it. But that's about where you guys can assess most of the smaller fae are going to be. This frolicking in this underground mushroom forest. Frolicking being a very light term. Thank you for the prime, Nuz. We appreciate it.
Want to point out something that I put in my inventory a long time ago. I just DM'd it to you.
Well, I know you've got a lot of things in there, and some that you've forgotten about that.
If they're not on that list, they don't exist.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they do exist, but they don't exist, because technically there were dealings to have.
Mm-hmm.
You see, when your guy who sits here and makes all these warlock deals with every powerful being they can, gets a bunch of gifts, they just sometimes forget about some of the gifts in their inventory, and they're sitting here going, what do we do, George?
I will never find them out if the DM never points them out to me, because I'm never going to remember them. They're gone. I would have to look through different histories of whatever we've typed up, and that unless it's not in there, then I really have no way of recalling it.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. I just might have to use it for something humorous later. It's fine.
I mean, it could be, certain items like a human skull in my inventory that no one knows about.
Do we want to start heading that way, or?
Yeah, let's go down the beaten path here. So, Asenath will make mention that Fey creatures are attracted to sweets. And he just so happens to have a mess kit with hard candies in it. Come to think of it, where would that card be located with the hard candies? Is it going to be... Because I tried to put them in specific areas. I mean, and I have a feeling I know which items, but, if they're in my cards and they're listed there, and it's something that is in that list, then...
It wasn't in the list, it's something that you've acquired, and it's something that is not in your inventory on either sheets.
Yeah.
That's what I've been hinting at, that's been missing to your mind, and it just... You did a whole arc for it and everything, and it just...
I know of the horn, the card that I did with Stella, which I have no reason to pull. It's I know of the calling cards for everything that I've gone through. But if there's an item that I've been giving, I do not remember it.
That granny is going to be so upset about you.
Is it the spell book? Because I have that on hand. That's in our history of our chat, and I know that one.
There you are. You could have used that 50 times by now.
It's got some utility spells. This one. I know this one. I have this one. The reason it's not listed, it's in our chat, and I know of it. Because I don't know what I would use for this besides Lunar Strike, which I already have. I can use Lunar Shield, which I haven't had a need to. I already have Lunar Breath. Thorns would be useful. I haven't done that yet.
You have a third row.
It's useful
too. Huh?
What do you mean third row?
Well, it's got darkness and all that stuff in it too.
Oh no, I know that. That's gonna be useful for a number of things. I don't know how darkness exactly works in your game, but if it's like D&D, it's basically, I would assume, reverse of Dancing Lights almost, or a reverse light spell.
You see, they get stacks, but they don't do damage.
Yeah. What does Magic Mouth do exactly?
It allows you to cast on an object the ability for it to say certain things, and sometimes even the illusion that the mouth of the object is saying something.
Got it.
So it means you can look at a gargoyle statue and make it sound like it's saying something to someone with a trigger word.
Yeah.
You should know that one very, very well. I know a song that gets on everybody's nerves. Everybody's nerves? Everybody's nerves. I know a song that gets on everybody's nerves.
Somehow that tracks.
Well, no, the worst part is, then the fourth gargoyle over the doorway is supposed to go, and this is how it goes, and the door shuts and locks. And then it goes into loop.
Yeah.
It was a torture puzzle I had.
That tracks.
Okay. I had it in a different campaign that I swear Axe was in. Yeah, because I did it in the 3.5 campaign as well. I believe. I can't remember. I've used some of these things a few times because it was funny. Okay. So you guys are going along the path. You get closer and closer to the forest, and I need a perception check from everyone. See if you guys can notice what the strange growths are on the mushrooms. Hello?
Okay.
So, looking for strange mushrooms, or in the other strange mushrooms for things?
I want a perception check because you guys are going to be passing underneath some strange mushroom growths off the large mushrooms.
16.
16.
10.
Perception has +5. 19 total.
Okay. I will use your knowledge nature from previously as well in conjunction with this. And I will put it simply. You look up and you realize off of some of these mushrooms seem to be red caps that have bitten into the large glowing mushroom and dug their arms into it. And where the mushroom seems to have attached to the arms to kind of start trying to eat this intruder, you also see sprouting out of the back of the head of these red caps is a strange growth with spores slightly sprinkling down on the mushrooms beneath.
What in the world is that?
And Asnoth, your knowledge nature, you don't know anything in this world that does this. But you remember hearing about studies of ants that would sit here and climb up to leaves above nests, bite into the leaf, and then a fungus would pop out the back of its head and spores would rain down, infecting the entire colony.
So are they above something specific, or are they trying to infect things?
It seems like these red caps that were infected are above more densely populated mushroom areas, as if things could be hiding in them.
So I'll point out what I can see as well. What are we... I mean, that's definitely our ticket right there, but that's kind of weird what they're doing right now.
I guess what we seek is down there. And that's gonna be where we're gonna have to go. He looks over at Stella.
Got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, well.
So you guys are going to go into the large undergrowth of mushrooms.
Yep. Seems we have no other choice.
Excellent. As you enter, you slowly find at the base of one of the larger mushrooms what appears to be a series of doors and stairs going down into an underneath area beneath all of this. The spores that are falling in the air are thicker here, and it seems to be thick enough to potentially be a problem.
Stella's gonna pull up a bandana and cover her nose and mouth.
Yeah. Good shout.
Definitely don't want to be breathing this.
I'm going to use spawn clothing. Or, conjure clothing in this case. Give everyone masks. I don't know how much mana it'll take, because I don't have any description of the spells.
That one's an illusion.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, they're both illusions. Banish and conjure clothes are both illusion.
Therefore, not useful in this situation.
Yeah, they don't actually remove or make clothes.
I could pull out my clothing for performer stuff and give us at least bandanas.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys
Thank you.
Kitted out with masks now.
Banditos.
Remember, always wear a mask when there's some pathogens in the air.
We don't have N95s, just mentioning.
M95s haven't been invented yet.
Plague Doctor's masks have.
But Victor's just kind of looking around as they go down.
As you guys go down, you see weird lighting systems, all sorts of glowing rocks and mushrooms and little sproutlings of the glowing mushrooms from up above that were used to sit here and make lights in some of the pockets. But as you get down to what appears to be a small undercity, you see a lot of odd movement here and there. You see what looks like odd fungus-covered, shriveled up mushroom people that are trying to attack a wooden wall that has been erected, with people trying to stab spears out of it at these creatures, these what appear to be infected.
What in the world?
So they're trying to fight off infected bits, if I heard that right?
Yeah, infected redcaps.
So the redcaps are infecting redcaps, or the redcaps are infecting another fungal people that are fighting off redcaps that are now invading their area?
You can't tell as they are behind the wall, but the redcaps seem to be infected that are attacking the walls. And all you can see is spears kind of coming out and stabbing at these things, trying to keep them back and keep them from tearing at the walls.
How many of them are there?
How many? Yeah.
Wait, so the potentially behind the walls are other fungal people that are not redcaps?
Maybe. You can't see behind the wall.
But the trickling down infection thing is above them, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the redcaps are trying to infect them, is what it seems like.
Yeah, it's like a zombie virus.
Yep.
It's trying to spread as much as it can.
Understood. Well, we have Cordyceps militaris red cap mushrooms.
Yep. Welcome to The Last of Us Fae Edition.
So, what do we do here?
Well, there's 5 of them attacking this small wall that you guys are in front of.
Well, we have pathogens in the air, so not a good idea to really get super duper close unless we, have to.
Yes, strained fungal spores in the air.
How far away are they?
From the kind of entrance into this tunneling area, about 60, 70 feet.
Okay.
So enough to where they're not going to notice you guys, especially since they're kind of focused on the walls and the noise that's going on. There is a tunnel behind where you can assume they came from if they didn't come down the stairs. And there's another tunnel off to the right near where they are that seems to jut around, but you don't know where that might go.
Could take them from here, but I don't know if more might come after them.
Well, according to our plan, we need a red cap for it. So, Victor's gonna make sure his suit's powered up.
Okay. Suit power.
Probably a good idea to do mine too.
Would be good for everyone to get their defenses up.
I forget that I even have that thing 90% of the time. We should have used that when we were freaking raiding the castle too.
What?
Yeah,
whatever it was.
You guys really didn't need the armor at that point.
No, it just would have been nice.
You guys literally flashbanged the king and kicked the
Hey, if I can overkill more, I will.
It doesn't give you bonus damage, it reduces damage.
Look, every time that I'm gonna enter any kind of combat or damage-taking situation, I'm gonna touch it up.
I get that.
I'll power up the armor. Okay.
So, do we just take these 5 out? What do we do here?
Let's just take the 5 out, and then... I mean, we could take the other ones out, too, depending.
I've got 7 cold iron shot left, and... there's 5
That's
of
useful
them.
on these.
I would maybe devote... Yeah.
So you guys are going to fight them?
Yeah, that's what I plan on doing.
Yeah.
I would like to probably initiate, unless someone else has a desire to.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
They're all in kind of a pile, aren't they?
Sort of, they're in front of the wall.
Neat. I kind of want to double lunar strike them. don't know if I'm going to do that quite yet, but that's immediately what's kicking in the back of my head. Blow them up.
Lunar strike, or do you mean?
Oh, I meant moonlight glow. That would absolutely obliterate them, most likely. I think I'll just hit them with cards. I'm just going to do a double card on one of them.
Okay. Are you using lunar energy, or are you using just arcane?
I don't see any reason to not use lunar energy on these at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and go with it. I am going to pay attention to how it reacts, though.
So you're going to fire how many cards at the first one
2.
you're attacking? Okay. I'll go ahead and do your attack rolls.
I have a feeling that will not hit. Where's my stats? That's going to be... Attack bonus is 5. 11 for the first one. The next one, on the other hand, that is 22 to hit.
Uh, 22 to hit and 11 to hit. Okay. And I need to know, you do have the positive stuff, don't you? Yes, most knows. Most awesome.
Uh-oh.
I just need to know how many stacks of illumination that we're adding to this because of things. Nothing to worry about. Mm-hmm. 6, 7, 14 stacks.
Only a few.
Okay.
I take it both of those hit.
Both of them hit the guy. Yes, you hit the guy. And you notice that the fungus-like growths on it seem to be glowing, but it falls down onto the ground. I want to make a small roll here. Okay. Okay, so that's one down. The body seems to be glowing with a moon-like glow about it. And the mushrooms are pulsating on it. But you don't see any spores coming from it. So next up, because I'm letting players go first, so who wants to go next?
Give it a shot, yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy.
What kind of shot are you going to use on it?
Well, I've got cold iron loaded.
Oh yes, you have solar if you use. Interesting. You also have others.
Yeah, how did he go solar? Okay.
Just need to know how many shots and what kind of shots you're using.
All right. I'll do uh 2, 3. I'll do 3. Should do 3 shots. Color.
Different or on same guy or what?
On different ones.
Okay.
Let's see, 11. 21. 23. 23.
Okay, 23 is the first one.
Let's see. 13, 20, 25.
Okay.
And 29.
Okay. And let me look at the damage your weapon does. Okay. And you said that is going to be. So that's 3, 4. You guys don't have a bonus, so. Come on. Okay. So there's one last corrupted shroom. And it's noticed its friends have dropped. And it's kind of looking around, or at least trying to. Its face is lumpy. What about you? What about you, Victor? What is Victor going to do?
About the only thing I have that's ranged is a solar ray. And he's conflicted about whether he should use it or not.
Yeah, because instead of glowing blue, the other 3 are glowing a kind of yellowish light and pulsating now too while they're laying on the ground.
How wide is the staircase that we're on?
About 10 feet wide.
And we're a good 60-some feet from them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. He is going to move down about 10 or so feet, maybe 15 feet in front of the other 2, take out his sword, and I will make it an even 20, just in case they charge. He's going to hold an action.
Okay.
He's going to hold an arcane strike.
so it's going to come to their turn. Great. Because I rolled for each one of these guys on when something was going to happen. So, you see the glowing go down just a little bit on all three of the ones that were shot. And a little bit, barely noticeable for the one that's glowing blue. So now, what you're going to see... So that's 3 square radius you guys are outside of. The other one is not, though, so this is going to be hilarious. You see the 3 that are glowing a yellow light explode in about a 15-foot radius with a bright light, almost like the sun, and it dries them up. They look almost like dried shiitake mushrooms now. Now what this is going to do is...
Assuming that it actually dries them out, that's a good way to stop them from sporulating.
Yes.
Yeah, you would assume.
Now, you do see the one that was still standing die. And he's glowing now. You also see that the walls are damaged from the explosion from these 3. And that the blue glow is also turned into a blue and yellow glow for the one corpse. So fun times. Do you wait? What do you guys do? You don't know how much more the wall can take. Nor how much worse these other 2 explosions are going to be with how they're brighter than the others.
We should probably take cover. So I get out of here, specifically.
Question. Does darkness reverse illuminated stacks?
Yes, my clever friend.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
I would like to do that.
Yes. All right. I have Humble Strike. I can do that. Wax on, wax off.
Yeah, just a little wax on, wax off. Hilariously, first time I'm actually using the book. I don't know how darkness works, though. I do not have a spell, description for it, so it's 100% unknown for me. I'm just assuming what I know from
the book
other
is casting it.
editions.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. It also
I'm
means
not casting it from the book is casting it.
Sort of, yes. You can cast it from the book yourself if you want.
That's what I was going to do.
Okay, so that's going to use your stats. Which means it's going to...
I mean, the book can cast it, I just...
Yeah.
I don't really care, but the thing is I thought I'm reading a spell off of a spell book, so therefore I'm casting it.
Yeah, you can do it that way. You can also order the book to cast a spell. So you would be using Phosphomancy. Uh-huh. Oh, I'm on the wrong character sheet. That would be why the number doesn't look right.
I can tell you what the number is.
So that's going to be 6 plus the base. Okay. Okay. So you're going to cast Darkness on which one?
If I can cast it twice like I can with my Lunar Strike, I'm going to cast it on the 2 ones that are very bright.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't know how it works, so I assume it de-illuminates them and possibly throws on obscure stacks.
Actually, it does darken stacks.
Okay.
And that will probably be a 6 and a 5 then. Okay. So, one of them is still glowing fairly bright, because I had gotten a power up from the explosions. The other one is no longer glowing. It seems to be sucking in light, and it almost seems vacuous now.
Mm-hmm.
Stella, what are you gonna do?
I am going to use the umbral strike.
Okay.
How many are left?
They're all dead. It's just the 2 corpses that are glowing. Well, one's glowing.
All
one
right.
of them's kind of sucking in light right now.
I will shoot the glowing one with the umbral strike. All right. 16.
16. That'll hit. It is a corpse. Technically, you would have advantage, but 16 will hit. Okay. Are you going to do it anymore?
I'm going to observe. Did it have an effect?
Yep, it decreases glowing some.
Yeah, I'll hit it again.
You hit it again?
Yep.
Okay.
24.
Yep. You was?
Do you have 3 or 2 attacks, Stella?
I have 3.
I might suggest the last one go on the one that's still standing.
No, they're all dead.
Oh, never mind.
The one that was still standing got exploded by the other 3 that exploded.
Understood.
So it actually did damage and it charred the wall.
Yep, there's not much we can do about that now.
Yeah.
It's kind of a waste of cold iron, but takes too long to unload, so yeah.
Gonna fire a 3rd time?
Yep.
Okay.
Gonna be a 24.
Okay, so with all 3 shots, both of that one is barely glowing. And over the next 2 turns, unless you guys want to do something.
Darkness. Until it's not glowing anymore.
Well, it looks like it's barely glowing right now.
Victor's gonna try to figure out if he's ever heard of anything like this before.
You can rack your brain for knowledge of the planes. Which will take up your turn. So we'll go to their turn, since it seems Axe is wanting to do things on his turn.
Yeah. I just want to darken it to the point where it no longer has any light, because it'd be better for it to not possibly even have a small explosion.
Well, that's the thing. After its turn, both the yellow and the blue glowing is gone. The one still seems almost vacuous.
Mm-hmm.
But after another 6 seconds, seems to dissipate.
Rolled a 19.
A 19, you say? You have not heard of a fungus like this, but you have heard of things that react weirdly to elemental magics, as if the magics themselves change fundamentally how the thing acts. So as you're looking over everything, you realize that the solar energy that the three that seem to have exploded seems to have kind of scorched the wood in that, almost as if it would have been dried by extreme sunlight. So similar to stuff that you see in deserts and that, where there's not a lot of shade.
Okay.
Where there's that kind of warming of the wood and the drying and the cracking.
Yep.
And
so,
oddly enough, it seems almost like the mushrooms closer to the one that became vacuous seems like they've had moisture and almost like life essence itself sucked out of them. So they're more of a dehydrated mushroom of sorts. Almost like what you would expect you would see if you left them out in the cold for a while. Like in a cold, dark, dry place. Yeah.
Okay. So, while Victor was racking his brain, could he have been walking back towards the other two?
Yeah.
So he's going to share with them what he's realized, what he's noticed going on.
Yeah, it's a strange, otherworldly, almost elemental fungus that has infected the fungi here. But it doesn't seem to have a specific alignment to an element.
Wouldn't have expected them to explode, honestly.
Right.
I feel bad for the other Caps wall, and they're probably not going to be super happy about it.
Yeah. But at least we know now.
Yep.
So what are we going to do about this other one here?
What other one? Sorry.
The one that's still kind of black hole.
No, it stopped after 6 seconds.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it only had one more turn before it ran out of darkness charges. It only had 2 charges and it was going to explode in 2 turns, so it loses 1 each turn. So it had nothing to kind of puff with.
So
I can not use most of my abilities on these, it appears.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you
Did
can
we get
if
onto
you're
the
not
wall?
in a city or something.
I mean, if I nuke them when they're off to the side on their own and won't harm anything else, yeah.
But I mean, yeah, you guys can try to get to the other side of the wall. Are you guys just going to try to push through the wall that was clearly stabbing these things, or?
Nope. I have no interest in getting to the other side of the wall. There's probably, assuming I can even, well, I mean, I might peek, but I could also easily get my face stabbed, so.
I am curious.
And then you'd be Azeroth the One-Eyed.
Yeah, so I have zero interest on taking a peek. I just want to grab a cap, but these ones seem infected, like zombies. So these probably are not good to eat.
Yeah.
Depends on who you ask.
I don't know if the Fomorians would eat them. That's all I want to do, is bring one of these back to the Fomorians, and if they're not good to eat, then I don't want them.
So Stella is going to unload the last cold iron shot and reload with regular ammunition.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got to find one, and this obviously isn't the door for us.
They do have some ones over the top raining down spores, so you might want to take care of those too. I have a feeling if we exploded the ones on the roof, it might cause rubble to come raining down.
Well, they're not on the roof. They're on the large glowy mushrooms on the roof. So think like giant, massive mushrooms that are about the size, about probably 30 feet tall, that are hanging upside down from the cave ceiling. And they're hanging from the edges of this mushroom.
If we did explode those mushrooms, what would be the negative effect of that?
You mean the ones that are causing spores, or the ones that are attached to?
Well, exploding the ones that are causing spores, therefore causing a cascading of probably exploding the other part of the mushrooms.
If it cascades and explodes the rest of the large mushroom, give me a intelligence check.
I'm going to assume that probably wouldn't be good for the town below it.
Well, remember, the towns are technically underneath the ground, so they kind of have that barrier. Just means they might have to dig through.
Yeah. Can I reach them with throwing cards?
No.
Okay.
They're well over 30 feet in the air.
I can hit him.
If you hit them with anything, I suggest something neutral, or just shooting them for shooting them.
Yeah. Worth a shot.
So you guys are going to try to get rid of the infection zone here.
Yeah.
And are you going to use
knocked down a bit?
You're going to use a regular shot, or
Actually, I'm gonna. You know what? Hold on. Before you shoot, do you want to just talk to the people behind the wall?
Yeah. Actually, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, that's the best way, I think.
They might have a better idea of what's going on here.
So you guys approach the wall and try to talk to him?
Yep. I will yell through the wall of, "Hey, we want to help out. The spore's raining down on you. Do you want us to at least shoot at those or something, or is that not a good idea?" Freaking blatant.
Now, you guys are in a cave system. You guys have been firing off firearms.
Yep. Not much to do there. It's already too late.
Yeah. But
guns are loud.
Yeah, guns are loud. And these are fey creatures that aren't used to guns. But on top of it, they're fey creatures. So what you hear on the other side is something like...
Yeah, I had a feeling. I will say something draconic.
Well, then you hear some feet running off behind the wall. So what are you saying in Draconic?
I was just going to say, do you guys speak Draconic?
They do not seem to understand, as one of them kind of pokes a spear through and seems to be trying to push at you guys, not stab, but more push you with, like, the flat of it.
Where? Any specific location?
Like, the sides and everything, trying to understand what you are. Because these are mushroom creatures. To you, it's... To you, you just see a strange mushroom with limbs and eyes. And it's sitting here and going, what is this humanoid thing here? It's stranger than the other things.
Aznath is going to point up towards the roof and then make a hand motion of boom. And then kind of tilt his head.
Can I have you give me a charisma check?
At least something I'm good at. 8. 13, 14. Stats, charisma. 18 total. Also, I would like to call a break here pretty soon.
It doesn't seem to take this as a hostile thing, but it is still confused at what you're trying to signal at.
Would encode thoughts on that spellbook be useful in this situation?
It would encode your thoughts with how they are into the book.
That's not useful. I was thinking of a memory sliver where I can hand someone an actual thought, basically.
Well, that's the thing. It can technically do pictures. But that means that you'd be encoding several pages and trying to make a flip book for them.
No, good.
You don't want to spend some time making them a flip book?
No, it's not important. Not for that.
You sure you don't want to sit here and blow their mind?
No. If I could use that on another book, then sure, why not? As long as I don't encode a spellbook's pages with nonsense.
Yeah. Blank cards.
You know, the Fomorians are omnivores. Do we really need a red cap? There has to be other stuff down here they can eat.
It just seemed like they were eating a red cap, so...
Not absolutely necessary, but I don't see any gardens anywhere.
I'm gonna card
fungi.
One of the red cap was still in one piece that was draining its surroundings. I'm gonna card that one.
Okay, just that one? Because it looks almost freeze-dried as well. It looks more freeze-dried than the others.
I will card any of the ones that are non-exploded.
Okay. So not the 3 that exploded in a nice ball of light that then got shriveled up into shiitake mushroom. Got you.
I mean, if I can pack all of them into a card, I'll do so.
Okay, so you will have one with a freeze-dried red cap, one with a still fairly moist red cap, and 3 red caps worth of red cap, dried red cap flakes or whatever, chunks. Great for soups and stews.
Some dried red cap.
Do you guys want to wait a little bit, or do you want to just leave with what we have?
I would leave with what we have.
Yeah.
We helped them out, so, I mean, aside from accidentally damaging their wall, which I don't think there's anything we can do. I don't think I have enough Tinker's knowledge to really repair the wall.
I mean, that's more of a
we don't really have any materials. Yeah.
So you guys are going to retreat?
Yeah, I don't see any reason why we really need to encounter them. I don't know what type of mushroom person they are, but is there any prompt for rolling knowledge on them so I can at least know what they are?
even to Draven, these mushroom creatures are going to be odd. It's just like they're giant mushroom people that, or not giant, more like 3-foot tall mushroom people that seem to be of all different varieties. The one that's still manning the door is red with white spots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But so you guys leave. You go upstairs. Are you guys heading back to the Fomorian camp?
Yeah.
Okay. And before we take our first break, or break at least, I will sit here and pan back as you guys, after you guys are walking away from the mushroom forest to a larger mushroom coming out the door with a mask on and going, "I thought you said there were humanoids here." They went to go get the scholar. They don't speak common.
Yep.
They had to go get the smart one.
No, I had a feeling, but...
Okay. So we'll be right back after the bathroom break.
Alright.
You guys said there were people here. What are you talking about? There's no one out here.
And not even corpses. There's not even evidence except for the scorched wall.
So, okay, maybe there's some random chunks of mushrooms that were left behind.
Okay, we'll be right back.